getting back into it today. Okay, so um, there's this idea that comes to me sometimes, and sometimes I dwell on it, and sometimes I dismiss it, and some days I speak on it. And so today, it's the idea that we all are on the unconditional love frequency. That's that source being in us, and so it it expands from source, like as a conduit. And so on the unconditional love frequency that you are, okay, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, there are your what people call chakras or emotional centers, energy centers. Let me say that there are infinite chakras, infinite in your toroidal flow, okay? We are only speaking on the ones that the human mind can conceive of right now. So on your unconditional love frequency, there are these vibrations that live there, and they're neither good nor evil. They're just low vibration or high vibration. And so when you are in your root chakra, in your safety or lack of safety, and then your sacral chakra, your creativity, your sensuality, your power chakra. Okay, so these are lower, these are still all lower vibrational. So if you're here, you're still vibrating, even though you're on a love frequency, it's still it's a lower vibration of it. It's still unconditional love. It's still there. That unconditional love is always there, but sometimes it gets sludged up. It's always there because your heart is literally pumping blood through your body. Okay, so look at the heart and see what it has to work with, because it can only work with what it has. And so if this is sludged up down here, like literally and spiritually sludged up, if your physical body is sludged up, what is your heart pumping through? Like, it's pumping through shit, it's pumping through fat, it's pumping through this nastiness. Okay, you've got the nasty, we call it in my family. And so you have to clear it out. You have to clear out the spiritual blocks on there, like the little black spots that you get, and you have to clear out the like physical nasty stuff that you've built up in your body over the years. And so building this strong foundation that opens up, you open up your heart. So I know people say start at the root chakra and go up, but I found that I had to start here at my heart, because my heart was pumping all this through, and this good energy was in there, but it was like, and my heart had been torn a whole bunch of times. So I had to heal my heart first, so that my heart was like, and then open my heart, do actual exercises to open my heart, like spiritual and physical exercises to do this. And yoga is a great practice for that. And you can create your own practice, which is what I've been doing, for your heart's resonance. And so for you to be able to follow it, and then that is what will start flowing now through these other pieces. And so now the lower vibrations are like, stuff is coming loose, stuff is coming out, and the heart is really getting to pump into it. And so everything you're doing, everything you're being, is coming from a heart-centered place. And when that starts to happen, then the healing happens, and everything is merging together. Like your all your dualities, your shadow self, your masculine and feminine, your light and dark, your yin and yang, and all that, it's merging into this new, it's actually creating something new. And so that's also what your cells are doing and your DNA is doing. It's creating this an actual new person, and you get to be in control of that. Up here, you can actually create the new cells, create the new, but you have to do it for you. Like, you can imagine your own way through it. Clear it out however you need to clear it out, through nutrition. Use nutrition as your guide. Use yourself as your guide. Trust this. I don't have good vision. Like, my physical vision is not that great, but my mental and spiritual vision is on point. And so I can also clear up my physical vision through nutrition. And so that's what this next phase is, because I've always been like a nutrition kind of person, and what's the best thing for me to be consuming, energetically, spiritually, ingesting all these things in different ways, but what's the best way to do it? What are the best things to be ingesting? And now, so now we've been ingesting living foods and better water, and then that opens your awareness to the next level. And so there's always going to be a new level. There's always going to be, now you've mended, you've healed, the healing's done, the healing's been done. Like, the stuff is coming off, it's coming up and out. Now what you're experiencing it's not an old habit that you need to get rid of. It's just some old, like, residue, like an old programming that, like, left fragments. And so you have to defrag your system, basically, and do that through healing. What you were considering healing now it's actually evolving you. So I opened hand chakras and discovered my healing gifts, and it's so cool to see the synchronicities of it all. Like, from one of my first spiritual memories, which is these light beings around my bed when I was a child, and I can't see it clearly anymore, like when I close my eyes, but I know that they were blue. They had a blue light to them. And when I was a child, I remember I told my parents that they all had different instruments, and there were a whole bunch of them. And so my mom decided that meant I would play instruments, and so I played all these instruments. But now discovering that means sound healing. So healing through words, whether that's written words, spoken words, and the musical, the Tibetan bowls and solfeggios, but prayer is actually a sound. And so that's what I'm going to be delving more into as my gift. And that's what earlier I was just saying would be my offering, basically. But anyways, it's really cool to see all these synchronicities. So there was the musical instruments, and then the cards that I was pulling, the rattle of Isis, which is sound, and then the things that I've been attracted to lately, which are the solfeggio, like wanting to learn about binaural beats and the solfeggio frequencies, and the tuning forks was something that has started coming up. And there's this, I don't know what it is, some sort of tuner, I'll figure it out, but so I know, now I'm knowing more of my gifts, and it feels really good. And I just wanted to share that now, because I was talking about you're that conduit, and how you have the different frequencies, the different vibrations. And so when you're interacting with other people, you can actually see where it is that their vibration is coming from, and then you can basically transmute it, and you can choose not to be a part of their toroidal field, basically. But anyway, so you also have the opportunity, like, after I use heart healing as the first thing. I healed the heart, mended the heart, saw that light, that green good light going through, and then this stuff was already there, like, from childhood, like, but what keeps coming up is use your imagination more, be playful, daydream, blah blah blah, like, not blah blah blah, but what is it that I'm doing the most? The most thing that I found myself doing, and I found this was really sad to me one day, like, there's this thing on Facebook going around, like, ask your kids these questions, and just let them answer, and write it down. And it was like something that I always say, and they were like, go clean, blah blah blah, and it was all about cleaning. And I was like, but everything's always a mess. But that's why I always, like, wanted it to be clean, because it's always a mess, and I wanted to feel peace. And why do I want to feel this way? But then realizing that the peace was something I had to feel inside me, and it didn't matter so much. It does matter because it's a representation, and it's something that I felt ashamed of, for my house to be so messy and so dirty. And then finding out that other people had messy, dirty houses made me feel better. Oh, I don't have to have that shame. I don't have to have that guilt. I can let that go. But then still clinging to that old habit. And so now realizing that I need to be in a place, when I said I want this all to work out, everything to work out, you want everything to work out for the good of everyone involved. And what that means is that you see where it is that they're operating from, and what is the best environment for them to thrive in, for that to be at their highest level of consciousness for where they are. and for myself too. So where can, like, where can me and my family go? Where can we be? What can we be doing that has us all operating optimally? And so that's another something I'm going to be delving into, but just really excited to share the information that it's good to be alive. And this is a great time to be alive because you get to see spirituality mixing with technology again. And whether that has happened in the past, Atlantis, Lemuria, Sumerians, whatever you think is real or believe is real, whether that technology has already existed, does exist out there, does exist in here, now we get to see it coming about again. And so this is a really cool time to be alive. And so if you want to stay in this human shell with your energy source, you have this, this little drop that you get. If you want to stay in the human shell, then, you got to create the God body for it, because you have the God inside. And now this thing that you get to operate, you get to do it however way you want. What does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you? How does it move? How does it feel? What do you do with it? And so that's up to you, and it's up to your imagination, and it's up to how you see source inside you. And so I think someone, and I know his name, and I'm going to contact him and thank him because I'm thinking of him right now, Matt Kovach. He was like, when you realize that you are the treasure that you've been seeking, and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, what the heck? I know I'm a treasure, I know I'm beautiful, blah, 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 but now to really realize that you are the source of life, and that's what you've been seeking, and now you get to use yourself to create yourself. It's mind-blowing. And when you really start to do it, it's even more mind-blowing. And things are going to happen, and you're going to get like an old fragment is going to come up, a depression fragment is going to come up, or an anger fragment, or a violent fragment, or a bully, like being a bully came up, and things that you're ashamed of. These old frags are just going to start coming, and you got to clear them out. Just clear them out. Just look at them and be like, hey guys, like, good to see you, thanks for visiting. It's funny to watch you because now I'm aware, and it's like I'm watching a movie to see yourself doing these old things that you used to do, and not really having the emotion